Mic'd up.
Sit up straight, boys.
I can't. If I sit up straight, then we get into the theme song.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. Tonight, we are at the final Silver Sluggers night here in Stockton, California, watching the Stockton Ports play. And we are here in a special suite that's been reserved just for us.
Yay!
I got Robbie Lanterman, Terry Lee, Marty Brown, and I'm Rob Weber. We're the Lowlifes, and tonight we have a fun topic for you. We have been doing a lot of themes related to sports figures in television and movie. And we're going to take that a little bit further. It'll be your top 5 sports celebrity appearances in commercials, whether that be print media, radio, TV, whatever. What are your top 5 in that category? So got some good ones lined up, and we'll dive right in here. Let's see. I'm going to start.
If you notice, we look a little different on camera. We do.
We look great on camera.
We're all in one place for once.
All right, so I'm going to start us off.
I want to say hi to Marie, by the way.
Hey! Is Marie still here? Marie's still with us.
All right. I can't believe Marie is here for a second show. Some people
Call in, Marie. Say hello.
Some people have poor judgment.
All right, I'm starting.
All right.
There we go. I'm gonna start off with a classic to get everybody in the mood. A commercial that many of us grew up with was Mean Joe Green coming off the field.
Yeah,
everybody's marked that one off your list. Coming off the field after a tough loss, it appears he's a bit injured, and a little kid has a Coke. Was it a Coke or a Pepsi?
It's Coke.
It was Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Timid little boy.
Yeah, and asks if Mean Joe would like a Coke, and of course Joe grabs the Coke, downs it, and throws his sweaty jersey at this little kid as a gift. So a classic TV commercial. Just saw the other day they reenacted it. The two. Mean Joe.
Really?
Mean Joe is in his 70s, and that little kid's in his 40s now.
Good kid.
It doesn't have quite the pull as the original commercial, but it's pretty good. All right.
That is from 1979. That's on my list.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
It's called Great Catch.
Yes.
That campaign was Mean Joe Green Coca-Cola.
All right. Now, Terry, since I've taken that one off of your list, I'm going to put you on the spot and throw this round to you.
Well, I'm done. I had Mean Joe Green.
And that was it.
The Catch 5 in a row.
That's been great. Okay.
All right. My number 5, you're going to have to help me, is a Miller Lite commercial in 1989.
Gosh, that narrows it down to 194 commercials.
The mid 80s, like 83 to 89 was the peak of cheesy commercials, and they had some actual clever ideas. And this was 1987. Yogi Berra, Miller Lite, and all the Yogiisms are he just rolled them off, and they kept looking at each other. Oh, this is the one with George in the background. He was
Steinbrenner?
No, George
Costanza?
in the background. He's doing his faces. He's bugging, like, oh. Giving him the very funny. So look that one up. Miller Lite, 1987, Yogi Berra.
All right.
Robbie?
Okay, I think mine is roughly 1978. And this one I had actually forgotten about, but when I bring it up, everybody's going to remember it because it is so wrong now. This was Pete Rose, female reporter in the locker room, asks Pete Rose why he likes Aqua Velva. And Pete Rose says, because a man wants to smell like a man. And the female reporter goes, oh. It is cringeworthy and awesome. And I, as soon as I saw the little clip, I'm like, oh my God, because a man wants to smell like a man came up, and that is just horrible. So yeah, Pete Rose, Aqua Velva, roughly 1978.
Wow.
Marty?
Well, I did a little digging because I thought, okay, we already talked about light beer, and it's going to come up a number of times tonight. What's the first commercial or picture of a professional baseball player drinking beer? 1889. And I said, I got lithograph here. You can't see it on the phone, but it's Cap Anson, who is a Hall of Famer. And what?
Baseball players drink beer?
It's news to me. That's why we're bringing it up.
Huh. Since 1889.
1889, drinking. Can't hold on.
You guys are a regular Huntley and Brinkley.
E and J Burke Extra Foreign Stout. Yeah,
Ooh.
which kind of must be equivalent to Bud Light these days. I don't know.
Or Guinness.
Yeah, so so it's not a new concept of beer commercials with baseball players. 1889.
That had to be a print commercial.
It's a lithograph. Want to see it?
Oh, it's a lithograph.
Yeah,
It's a lithograph.
yeah, they're sitting
Oh,
there,
look at that.
sitting there drinking the beer. Here, you should pull this up.
Yeah.
All right, that went well.
And you guys are surprised that baseball players would dare advertise beer. I mean, the original baseball cards were cigarettes. Cigarette
That's
cards.
right, that's right.
Came in a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And this group here is really smooth.
All right, Marty.
Wow.
We have completed round number 1.
Terrific.
All the 5s are out of the way. Who's up? Who's up?
You are.
Ooh. All right. I'm going to need a little bit of help here. This was a local commercial here in California. Stephen Matthew David.
Top of the hill, Daly City.
Top of the hill, Daly City. He sold electronics, I believe, to entertainment units, big stereos, big TVs. You could get a deal if you went to Stephen Matthew David's Top of the Hill, Daly City. Stephen was found guilty of, I think it was money laundering several years after this. And he is no longer at the top of his game in
or at the
Daly
top
City.
of the hill, for that matter.
But Stephen thought it would be a good idea to have sports celebrities help him out with his commercials. And he thought the bigger the name, the better. But in some cases, he didn't bother to test out whether these guys could actually deliver the lines. And one of the original commercials was Jerry Rice of the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm going to tell you now that Jerry Rice is a perfectly great gentleman. His diction is perfect, but straight out of college with the 49ers, it was not so. And I've never seen somebody struggle so much to say the word Mitsubishi. And they must have done 500 takes on this, and he still couldn't get it right. And at a certain point, they just said, as long as it's close,
We got it.
Mitsubishi or Metabashi, let's just go with it. People will figure out. We'll put the name of it on the screen so everybody knows what to buy.
It's okay. I can't say Chevrolet.
How about Cadillac?
So
You have cataracts?
Terry was great as Dad in the Goonies, wasn't he?
So I'm thinking, everybody, if you get a chance, go out on YouTube, look for a Stephen Matthew David Top of the Hill Daly City commercial, and see if there's the Jerry Rice one out there. It's comic genius, I'm telling you. So, all right, Marty.
just 4 lines says it. Hey, buddy, you're in the wrong seat. I must be in the front row.
I must be in the front row.
And then they go on to the ads. Hey, great seats. Hey, buddy, he missed the tag. He missed the tag. There it is.
Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker.
What year? Do you have a year on that? No.
Because if you go,
But you do.
I don't have that one.
I have this one on my list too. Because if you go to any ballpark in the country and you get third deck seats and you sit down, some yokel around you is going, "Hey, good seats, hey buddy."
Yes.
It's just any ballpark in the United States in bad seats in the upper deck, you hear that line repeatedly.
Right.
Tell the folks about
Yeah, and
what
they're
you
going-
found at Miller Park.
And it's my turn.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, tell
Okay.
me about that day adventure you had at Miller Park.
Well, thank you for asking. So when we were in Milwaukee a couple years ago and went to the Brewers game, the 4 of us along with 2 of our friends, there is a tribute to Bob Uecker at the highest point in the ballpark in Milwaukee. It was a long walk. I needed a Sherpa. And we got to the top, and there's a statue of Bob Uecker sitting by himself in a seat that is right behind a pole. It's like row 79 or something like that, seat 126. Third deck in the very back, the highest point of the entire stadium. There's a statue of Uecker and a plaque in tribute to that commercial, the Miller Lite commercial. And that's, I don't know, that's around 77, 78 too, I think, when that commercial came out. But oh my God. So of course I had to sit next to the statue and we had a nice long talk. You know, some of the best conversation I had on the trip, really.
And
And then the following year, he had a talk with Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
Here and there. So,
That was
yeah.
Navy Pier.
In Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right. There you go.
Don't mind
Okay.
hearing me talk to statues.
All right, Marty, who's up?
Tiger.
All right. So in 19...
What it's gonna
I get it. 1974, Beauty Mist Pantyhose. Joe Namath.
Oh!
There goes the number 1. There you go.
Joe Namath, he did Ovaltine, Noxzema, and Noxzema shaving cream. Okay, take it off.
So you just took 3 off of everybody's list.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
couldn't
I
just
guess
focus
so.
on one.
So basically, he couldn't hold the job because he had to go from sponsor to sponsor, right?
You should have done like knee braces.
Yeah.
All right, that's my number 4, Joe Namath, Beauty Mist Pantyhose. Look that one up.
Right.
Webb, did you, Robbie?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay.
So Rob opened with a local commercial. I'm going to close this round with a local commercial. And this is not Bay Area. This was back in Philly. And I used to go back there quite often on business and have a friend that works with the Phillies. So I got to spend some time back there during baseball season. And there was a commercial starring Hunter Pence, of all people. At the time, he was with the Phillies.
Underpants?
Hunter Pence.
Underpants?
Underpants. Hunter was in a commercial for Lysio's Bakery, and their theme was "It's all about the bread." And this commercial is basically Hunter Pence in front of a green screen, doing anything that you would do in Philadelphia, only with bread. So he's at the top of the museum steps, like Rocky, holding 2 big loaves of bread, jumping up and down. And of course, the museum is green screen. He's just standing in some studio. He's got bread. He's rowing the Schuylkill River, like the Villanova crew team, with these 2 big pieces of bread as oars. They've got him running in front of Independence Hall with 2 big pieces of bread as hands weights. They've got him in a workout room, the locker room, I guess, the weight room in Philadelphia, curling bread.
Ooh.
It is horrific. It is terrible. He doesn't look like he really wants to be there. And I don't know, the bread looked pretty good. So Lysio's Bakery commercial with Hunter Pence, look it up. It's astoundingly bad.
Excellent. All right. Hey, we're 2 rounds in. What usually happens when we're 2 rounds in?
Well,
Take a look at the best part of the show.
Can you beatbox, Terry? Yeah, no, never
No.
mind. We'll just jump right into it. It's what you drinking.
Hey!
Billy, what are you drinking?
And as always, the highlights from Lowlife Show, even when we're on the road like this, are still sponsored by Almanac Brewing. I am drinking the Rocktoberfest. That should surprise no one at this point. It is a delicious beer. It's part of their lager series. It just came out a couple weeks ago. It's fresh. It's really great tasting. It doesn't matter if it's summer or not. This is just a great, refreshing beer. Even if it is summer, you should be drinking Rocktoberfest. Only an idiot would say no to that.
Yes, Jim Nelson.
Long story. Leave a question in the comments if you want to know what it is. What are you guys drinking?
I've got a Rocktoberfest also, but you got to see the artwork on these cans.
Oh, yeah.
They're really neat.
Yeah.
So there you go. It looks like a jack-o'-lantern wielding fork and sausage.
Well, there's a lot of brats there. A lot of brats.
Brats. Almanac Rocktoberfest. Marty, what are you drinking?
Well, here, do me a favor. Hold
Yeah.
my can up to the screen because I really can't see it. But this is the Seaside IPA. I don't like IPAs, but darn, this is a good beer. I like this. It's very good. It's very and if anybody that's seen it, we've done this before. On the top of the Almanac can, they have little 3 words that are kind of supposed to describe the beer, right? So this was sort of a deep, relaxed, vast. He asked, "Is that a fat joke? Come on, but give me a break. Come on." Robbie, bail me out of this. Get out of here.
Let's get an IPA for the vast one.
Mr. Vast.
And again, that's Mr. Vast.
If you got an 8-ounce, would that be half fast?
Yes. All right, I'm drinking the Flow, the West Coast IPA. Excellent.
What are your 3 words?
I am happy, chilled, and hoppy, which pretty much describes my life. So,
I would have said dank.
Dank.
You're looking a little vast yourself there.
Oh, little story about the Oktoberfest. Was at a place down in the Bay Area called Blast and Brew. The concept is a bunch of taps on the wall. You put a credit card in the slider and you pour as much as you want of each beer. So if you want to taste a little bit, you can. You pay for it off your little credit card that they give you. And
Do they have a vast selection?
they do. There was 52
Were you
beers.
gonna say that?
52 beers
You
on
know,
the
you
wall.
must hate me.
And I went back 3 times and got the Oktoberfest every time. It's that
Yeah.
good.
It is. It's a marvelous beer. Yep.
Damn good beer.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, that's what we're drinking. If you're drinking something out there and want to leave us comments, send it in. We'll play it, of course, because we don't screen anything. And let's
Did you read the back of this can? It says, "Dance your arse off."
Ooh.
Rocktoberfest. Dance your arse off.
Okay. Thanks for the non sequitur. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
just
No segue there. Just yeah.
we've been on for well over a year, and Almanac continues to give us free beer for us plugging it. They think we're highly entertaining. We think we're highly entertaining. You probably don't, but nonetheless, the beers are fantastic from Almanac. When you're in the Alameda area, or you can get by there, stop by the brewery. They're great people. The beers are outstanding. They got a great selection. And tell them you heard about them from the highlights from Lowlife Show. They may take pity upon you.
All right.
You know, you go to Almanac. You can go there year round. Unlike the upper winter cities. You know what I'm
What's he
saying?
talking
You can sit outside. You can sit outside year
Apparently-
round.
apparently
at the
Oh, you
Almanac
can
Brewery.
sit outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
all
all
right.
right.
Oh, they have picnic tables all over the place.
All right.
It's really
Unlike
cool.
at Santa's workshop, where Terry should be going.
You're just jealous you don't make the toast.
That's right.
That's it. That's the answer.
Okay.
Hey, we should probably get on to round 3.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes in. We're ahead of schedule. We do have some comments and questions. If you would like to leave us a comment or a question, hit the microphone at the bottom of your screen, and you've got 30 seconds to leave us a comment or a question, and we can play it live on the air if we like it. All right. Who finished that round? Was that you?
I think it was me.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's up?
Oh, pick one.
Terry can't wait.
Terry.
Yeah.
Terry can't wait.
Okay.
Glad to jump in. In 1993, McDonald's had a campaign with Michael Jordan and Larry Bird.
Oh yeah.
It was called Nothing But Net. They played a game of horse, and it was just a really fun campaign. And yeah, McDonald's, you can't go wrong. McDonald's.
Yeah.
You live off of 1993 McDonald's, Nothing But Net.
Yeah.
And throwing the ball from the parking lot through the window, off the rafters, nothing but net.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it's well put together. It really was.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was
Marty, what do you got?
We're kind of getting on the theme of, I'm getting on the theme of light beer. And like I said, like the last one, all you got to do is read the lines. So I'm just going to do this for this one, 3. It takes 47 Marv Thornberry baseball cards for one Carl Farrell. If I do for like, it kind of hits home if you ever see me play ball. If I do for light
You got a
beer,
base hit
yeah, I did.
the other day. Yes,
Yeah.
like yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
No, Marty got a base hit yesterday. Because
Can I finish?
it went through the girl's legs untouched.
Oh,
so
you-
it's considered a hit.
You really do hate me.
Carry on,
Thank you.
Captain.
Hey guys, we're doing a show.
I mean, it's live. That little button here says.
Oh,
If I
glad you joined in.
do for light beer what I did for baseball, I'm afraid their sales may go down. Marv Thornberry. Now you guys were the baseball.
Yep.
Who did he play for and when?
Well, the reason he's in that commercial is because he was on one of the worst teams in the history of baseball,
Okay.
which will soon be eclipsed by the
White
2024
Sox.
Chicago White Sox. But he was a 62 Met.
He was the Met. He was
Yeah,
on the Mets. Okay. All right.
He was on several other bad
And
teams.
I love that. He's just so deadpan. He really was.
Roger Craig was on that team and lost 20 games, and he said you have to be a pretty good pitcher to lose 20 games.
It's true.
And
the-
what year was it?
62.
Marty, the good Marv story that I know of is that Casey Stengel was the original manager of
Right.
the Mets.
Yeah.
And Marv hit a triple one day, but the umpire called him out because he missed second base.
Oh man.
And the Mets were livid. But after the game, the reporters asked Casey Stengel, why didn't you go out and argue about Marv missing second base? And Casey Stengel, deadpan, said, because he missed first base as well.
All right. Yeah, you did that so well. Take the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the mark of a good television or radio ad is to remember the product that they are actually marketing. But in many cases, I have no idea what the product is. I don't remember at all. I'm thinking this was actually an ad for Major League Baseball, but I'm not positive. Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux have decided that just being pitchers isn't sexy enough, that chicks dig the long ball. So they start working out during the course of the commercial and taking more batting practice, because that is how they're going to get the attention of the chicks, is to hit the long ball. Was that a Major League Baseball ad? Do you guys remember?
Yes, I remember that. Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what they were pitching, was watch us on TV because
Do tell.
And they had Heather Locklear hanging all over Mark McGuire at the end.
There you go. There you go.
So yes, that was an ad campaign that they still talk about today.
Do we know the product?
I think it was
MLB.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
Just,
MLB.
just
Yeah.
MLB.
Chicks
Yeah.
dig the long ball. That
Mhm.
came from
Yeah.
that commercial.
Yeah.
What year again? About?
Ooh,
Oh, shoot.
would have been
Late 80s?
late 90s. I
Late
think.
90s.
Late
Yeah.
90s.
1990 something.
I don't know. So let's put it out there. Chicks, do you dig the long ball?
Of course they do.
Please call in and give us a little comment.
So my base hit last night
Was it a long
was it was long.
ball?
All right, Robbie, what you
Oh
got?
God, I thought I'd never get asked.
Yeah.
So I got to.
By the way, we're never ever going to do this again.
No. One place at one time is bad news. You guys can only imagine us in other parts of the country.
It's like being in a car and you want to turn around and slap your kids.
Are we there yet?
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go to a Yogi Berra commercial that is not a Miller Lite commercial. I remember this commercial. It was an athlete's foot commercial for a product called NP27. And they had Yogi Berra basically just standing in a room, black lighting around him, nothing else going on, talking about NP27 and athlete's foot. There was two versions of the commercial. One of the two key taglines is when you have athlete's foot, you're always sneaking a scratch. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So in one,
Who wrote that? What are they thinking?
I think he might have wrote his own commercial. In the nicer version of the commercial, or the less funny version, I guess, at the end he says, "When the inch is gone, it's a pleasure." Right? In the better version, the more yogi-like version, when the itch is gone, you don't got to scratch no more. So I'm going with Yogi for that one.
I gotta look that one up. That's hilarious.
All right, I dread this. Terry, what do you got?
We did number. I think we're done for number 3, aren't we?
Was I the finish?
I think you were. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on to number 2. Okay, hey Terry, what do you got?
Oh, number 2.
Well, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Well, there was a phenomenal athlete. He played baseball, he played football, then he got injured. That would be, unfortunately, it was a Nike commercial.
I know.
It's a classroom full of horse shacks.
Go ahead and tell me who it was.
No. Go ahead now. He's a Bo knows. I don't know, but Bo knows.
Bo Jackson.
Got it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bo knows.
Bo had the greatest Nike campaign going, and then he got injured and he's out of pro sports altogether. The poor guy. And you loved Bo Jackson. He was such a great athlete.
Yeah, that is true.
And the commercial was so well done because I pulled it up. It was on my list.
Bo knows.
And then just looking on YouTube, I mean, they had in golfing, they had in fencing, they had hockey, they had NASCAR race. It was everything. So it's a fun. It's still a great ad all these years later.
Yes, this was a fun topic because you get to watch the old commercials.
Yep.
Webb? Number
Okay.
2.
Again, a regional commercial. A set of ads for Toyota that were charming but a little bit awkward. Buster Posey and his wife driving around in traffic, commenting about the things they saw and about what had happened that day. They're a sweet couple, but they probably should have never been in a commercial. It just came off oddly. I think they did a series of them. It was like 3 or 4 of them towards the end of Buster's career. I don't know if that increased the sales at Toyota or not. I'm guessing no. Whoever is performing the metrics probably didn't really care. They're sweet enough, but kind of an awkward commercials. That's number 2 for me. Marty?
All right. Well, this one is. You know what? I should just demonstrate. You know.
Uh-oh.
All right. Remember,
Do you need room?
Jim Palmer.
Oh,
did
no,
one,
keep your clothes on.
But he was
No.
going for jockey underwear. So let me.
Oh God. Why don't the screeners work on the host end as well as when the callers?
Did you notice the 2 guys in the back row? One went for underwear, and the other one went for pantyhose. What the hell? I didn't know what kind of show this is. It's changing.
Yeah, and we're in Stockton. It's 104 degrees, and just because of that, I wore a T-shirt. I'm sweating like crazy. Jeez.
So you're of course referring to the Jim Palmer
Jockey underwear. Yeah.
commercials.
Yeah.
Yes. Those from what I remember is Jim Palmer made more money from that ad than he did in his baseball contract.
Oh wow! And he was always one of my favorite pitchers back in the watching NBC's Game of the Week with the Orioles.
Was it because of the underwear ads?
Well, that's kind of private.
Hey, nobody's watching.
I like that one.
All right. Flannery, get me out of here.
All right. So I've got one. I think I brought this up on the show once before under another category, but it's still to this day. To me, it's one of the funniest things ever. In the early 90s, roughly 93, 94, the Super Nintendo came out, which was the upgrade from the original Nintendo system, the home video game system. And at the time, when this game came out, Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball was released, and it was the state of the art, the best you could do in baseball video games. It was, quote unquote, amazing for the time. And the commercial comes out on TV, and Cito Gaston comes out, and he's talking about how realistic it is and what a great game it is. And Cito Gaston goes on and on and on for the entire commercial about Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. And then the commercial ends. At no point in the commercial is there anything to do with Ken Griffey Jr. Cito Gaston, at the time, was the manager of the Blue Jays. He did not play or coach Ken Griffey Jr. He did not play with at any time in his career with Ken Griffey Sr. He was just Cito Gaston, manager of the Blue Jays. That's it. There was no reason that it was Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball, Cito Gaston spokesman. So, to me, it's hilarious. There is just, I have never figured out the angle. I've done the deep dive on the internet, and I cannot find any reason whatsoever why it was Cito Gaston and not anybody else to do that commercial. So I have found that hilarious since day one when it first came out. So,
Are you a gamer?
yes, I am.
And you don't get it?
I still don't get
You
it.
must not be a very good gamer.
Well, I mean, I was good at the game.
Then
I was the Ken Griffey Jr. of Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball.
You're a better absent coach.
Yeah, better absentee coach. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that brings us to the point in the show where Rob Weber is going to wax rhapsodic about the other shows available here on the Mic'd Up app. I'm going to step out.
That's understandable that you would leave. So you are watching this show on the Mic'd Up app. Again, we talked about leaving us a question or a comment. Just hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen. We are a proof of concept show on the app. There are several others that we want to pitch for you today. The Rick Barry Show played actually earlier this morning. Rick and his partner Cyrus talk all things NBA. Today they covered some of the comments that Anthony Edwards made recently about the lesser players that played during the Michael Jordan era.
Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
Anthony. Goose? The guy that played Goose?
No, wrong Anthony Edwards, but good try.
Nobody talks about Goose.
Great show. Lots of different opinions about the comments that were made. And then they did a kind of a preview of what's coming up in the NBA this coming season. So good watch. You can watch that in the archives. They do a live show a couple times a month. Let's see what else we got. AJ Rovner has a new show called The Rovner Report. AJ has done 3 shows so far, including a show with Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. AJ is a broadcasting journalism student from Penn State, and he also is a customer service manager with the New York Giants football team. He's had great guests. He's got a couple of shows coming up on the listing, including a few former Super Bowl players. So take a look in the upcoming listing. Florida Sports Hall of Fame. John Rieger hosts a show that comes out about twice a month, interviewing people who've been inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, such as Wade Boggs and Fred Biletnikoff and Jan Stevenson. So they have regular shows on the platform, and it's great to hear from these people, to see what they've done post-career. Jim Darby did a show earlier today. Jim is a former Easton sports executive who is responsible for the success of the aluminum bat in college athletics. Jim's show today was about some of the Major League Baseball players that he signed during his career to Easton and Mizuno contracts. And finally, we've got Yankees Coast to Coast.
Oh.
It's our friends Mike Miller and Adam Schneider have a regular Thursday show talking all things Yankees. Mike will be doing the show solo tomorrow, and he will discuss Aaron Judge's career year and what's going on with the Yankees in the month of September. So if you want to follow any of these shows, hit the blue heart next to any host name, and you'll be notified anytime they post a new show. All right, let's finish up, guys. We go into round one. We're running quickly today, but we do have some questions and comments. Let's see, who finished that round?
I did.
All right, who's starting off?
Do you want to do?
Terry's starting off.
No, not that one.
In 1986, the California Lottery
Oh, no.
debuted their ad campaign with Jose Canseco and O.J. Simpson, and it was called Pick Your Lucky Lotto Numbers, and they went on and did a bunch of number-themed things. And at the very end of this commercial, it was 1986, there was a young world championship acrobat that did a very nice stunt on a trampoline. And that's me. It was me. Okay. Robbie?
All right. I think mine, I'm really proud of my number one pick this time. This is everything 1970s. It couldn't be any worse or any better. Frank Gifford, fresh off of his newly found fame on Monday Night Football. His first commercial he did based off of his that newfound fame was for Palm Beach Suits. Palm Beach Suits. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Vibrant, vivacious, value. The line of Palm Beach Suits were Huggy Bear colors, bright yellow, maroon, bright red, pink, light blue. These were suits. The key was they were washable at home.
Wow.
In a washing machine?
In a washing machine.
Were they also fast?
And he's got, like, there's one where he's walking through the airplane and the stewardess gets the lapel and goes, which, I mean, ironically, a stewardess touching Frank Gifford. Anyway, it's cheesy, it's sick, and the end of the commercial is simply Frank Gifford looking at the camera going, Dacron! So Frank Gifford for Palm Beach Suits. That's my number one.
All right, pick somebody.
Terry?
I've gone.
That's right. You sent it to me. Marty.
Okay, I pulled this up on YouTube and just tried to San Francisco Giants commercial, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I think I remembered it. I wasn't in San Francisco at the time, but it was an ad for the San Francisco Giants and their push for the playoffs in 2014, where they won the World Series. And it was just called The Speech. Does anybody?
100
Catching up?
pence
Was
piece?
it 100 pence?
100 pence.
Right.
Underpants?
But 100 pence. But the scene was, and again, this is I have to backpedal a little bit. Think of Animal House
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Blutarski speech
That's sweet.
at the end.
Okay.
So Pence was Blutarski.
What are we supposed to do, you moron?
Yeah, that was
That was Bumgarner. He was the stork. Bumgarner was a stork.
and Buster was forget it.
Buster was Eric Stratton. He got beaten up, right? He's
Yeah.
on the couch. He's got a black eye. The whole
Forget
thing.
it. He's rolling.
Lincecum was right next to him on the couch. He's Schoenstein. And Brandon Bell has a fake mustache, and he's the Daniel Simpson Day. He was saying, and here is Pence doing the entire speech. Well, was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? I couldn't believe what I was watching.
7 years of college.
Look it up on YouTube. It's the San Francisco Giants, the speech. It was beautiful. Yeah, they carried it off.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Good pick.
terrific.
Good pick.
Thank you. All right, Webby, go for it.
Okay, another regional one, but this is a Chicago-based ad. When you used to go to Cubs games as a kid at Wrigley Field, they had a pizza. It was Ron Santo Pizza. And the ads on TV were just as bad as the pizza. The pizza, if you opened the box, it was just a massive disappointment. It was like dough and some cheese on top. And you go, wow, this is it? But the ads were worse. Santo used to do this thing. To start a game, he would run out of the dugout, jump up and over the foul line, click his heels together. Imagine doing that at our age. And then coming down and saying, let's go Cubs. So the box had a picture of him doing this.
Yeah.
So for the commercial, they wanted him to reenact this.
Oh, shit.
The commercial itself is harmless, but the outtakes are tremendous. Where I guess when he had to think about running and clicking his heels together, that created a disaster. He did a couple of headers and face plants on the infield. He could not land on his feet. They did like a dozen of these takes before he finally hit it. And then they had to redo it again because the entire cast and crew started cheering for him because he got it right. So the Ron Santo Pizza ad is my number one. Yeah. All right, was that everyone?
That's it.
I think we did it. We did it.
We've gone through all of our top fives, and Robbie's going to play some of the questions and comments. Now, our good friend Hammy, Chuck Arthur, was supposed to join us today and was unable to make it in time, but I see that he has sent us in something.
I can't imagine Chuck would want to miss this controlled chaos.
Yes.
Hey guys, Hammy here. Sorry I missed my live performance. It's a long and not the least bit interesting story. Anyway, I think you guys missed one. Isaiah Mustafa is the athlete. He was a wide receiver for the Raiders and the Seahawks, a couple other teams. He's like a third string practice squad guy. Anyway, he did a series of hilarious commercials for Old Spice. I'm the man your man could smell like. Stuff like that. It was hilarious. Gotta look at it.
Well, I'm hoping you heard that. It was a little low on our side in terms of volume, but
They heard it, and I think we sold it with our reactions. You didn't.
yes.
All right. Hey,
At least the guys in the front row.
Ezra von Mermelschwanz has checked in.
Ezra von Mermelschwanz from Yankees Coast to Coast. Yogi Berra selling Yoo-Hoo. Mickey Mantle, Grill Cream, a little dab'll do ya. Phil Rizzuto for the money store. Need money, get a job. Joe Willie shaving his legs for Noxema. And last but not least, carrying around duffel bag sized hemorrhoids. George Brett for Preparation H.
That's good.
Let's see. Hey, Big Juicy. Oh, okay. Big Juicy first sent us what you drinking.
Hey, I'm out in the parking lot and I've got a Love IPA from Almanac here. Enjoying it in the 96-degree heat. Love it.
It's cooling down. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good stuff in the.
I think it's 73 here in the suite. So,
Yeah.
also from Yankees Coast to Coast. Boo. Mike Miller.
Hey guys, Mike Miller from Yankees Coast to Coast. I have several, but I'm only going to give you my top two. The best, I think, is Mean Joe Green in the Coca-Cola commercial because that totally changed everybody's perception of him. But my favorite sports celebrities in commercials has to be the old light beer, Miller Light beer commercials when they originally came out. And they had all those celebrities and sports celebrities in their commercials. Too many to name.
Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, I agree with him.
Ooh,
I'm really
wow.
not comfortable with this. All right, we're back to Big Juicy now.
Cool.
Hey, well, let's start off with Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, the McDonald's ad from a few years ago, the game of horse, where they're trying to outdo each other, making one outrageous shot after another. Next, how about Troy Polamalu, the guy with the flowing hair, and he's doing an ad for Head and Shoulders, showing people with anger and envy over his flowing locks. And for me, it was more anger since I'm follically challenged. More coming up.
Pretty good so far.
John Madden.
Well, there are so many Miller Lite ads that I picked just one, and that's Bob Uecker boasting that he has the front row seat, only to be relocated up in the nosebleed section with his dry panning, I need the front row seat. And then I've got, how about Chicks Dig the Long Ball? Nike ad with Greg Maddox and Tom Levine, two pitchers, but they're working on their hitting skills, hitting on women.
Yep. All right. That's a good set of calls there.
Yeah.
Thank you, callers.
Thanks.
All right. Any good honorable mentions?
Yes.
All right.
It's not. These were Super Bowl commercials and not sports celebrities. But how can you go through a Super Bowl and not have an ad for the Clydesdales? Now, we've talked about this many times that in a previous life, because I'm an old man, I used to be a referee. And there was one time where all the horses were looking around.
With those glasses?
You are blind.
Yeah, that's true. And the tagline was great, because here's a zebra looking into a camera, because that's how they did the replay back then. And then one rancher looks at the other and says, he's a jackass. He says, no, he's a zebra.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
I had Rocket Richard.
Oh,
Rocket Richard did a Brill Cream commercial, and it's when they first came out with the stuff where the slower, blended away more slowly, not a rapid change kind of thing for the gray hair, which maybe I ought to do a commercial for them.
Yeah.
Shit, that's a lot.
That is a lot, isn't it? Anyway, so Rocket Richard is out on the ice doing his skating stuff and talking about Brill Cream, and they show pictures of him over a slow progression over several weeks of the gray blending away. And then finally, at one point, a referee skates out while he's out there moving around with the stick. The referee blows the whistle. That's 2 minutes for subtlety.
Oh.
So we had to have a hockey commercial.
Yeah. Look it up on YouTube. I couldn't believe I found this. Blue Bonnet.
Oh, Mickey Mantle and Maze.
Yeah. So it's a Blue Bonnet margarine, and this had to be back in the early '60s. And here's acoustic Jamie Farr, of all people, saying, I wouldn't have anything but Blue Bonnet margarine on whatever. It cuts to Georgia Engel. Remember the actress Georgia Engel? She was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show and all that.
Oh, yes.
All right, and she was doing the same thing. And they go to the browser, Blue Bonnet margarine, no. And it cuts to a picture of Mantle and Mays sitting at this table with Blue Bonnet margarine, literally wearing a blue bonnet on their heads.
Yep.
Wait a minute. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, Blue Bonnet Mays.
Do you remember the slogan?
Everything's better with Blue Bonnet on it. There you go.
Yeah.
And people wonder why I drink.
We've all seen the movie Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
And there's a meeting place for the guys. They always meet at Stan Mikita's Donuts, which is a real place
Yeah.
that really exists.
Really?
And they used to have Stan Mikita as their spokesperson in the early years when it first opened up, because of course he had to get on there and advertise the latest batch of sugar pucks that they were making. Donuts in the shape of hockey pucks, filled with whatever they scooped up off the floor that night. But yeah, Stan didn't last too long as the spokesperson because of his effusive personality. I think it was a little bit dry for most folks. But yes, he did the early commercials for Stan Mikita's Donuts. So,
And I'm going to close with, I wanted to put it on my list, but I couldn't because it wasn't a real commercial. But it is a Saturday Night Live commercial spoof.
Oh?
Peyton Manning in the United Way.
Oh, that was great. It's one of my classic SNL snippets.
All the little kids.
Anyway,
I said run it out, Patterson. And they're throwing the full strength passes at the kids. They're knocking them over and sending them back 10, 15 yards. Yeah. That is
screaming. What's wrong with you?
It's not a real commercial, but it's the greatest.
The one kid dropped the ball and he made him go stay in the outhouse.
It is the greatest athlete commercial ever. I just wish it was real.
All right. Anything else? All right. We're running
Let's
a
go to
little
the ball game. We
Yeah,
got a ball game to see.
We're running a little early tonight, and that's okay. We got time to get a beer before the game starts here.
Another
in Stockton.
beer.
Another beer. Yeah.
We'd like to thank Stockton Ports.
And
the port. You know what? That's
Yeah.
Terry makes a good point.
Yeah.
The Stockton Ports have been outstanding to us this entire season. They've let us use the suites to do the show. They've given us free reign of the stadium to kind of run around and interview people, and we look forward to working with them more next year. And you should keep an eye out on Mic'd Up for some things that the Ports are going to do coming up. So,
Yeah.
Stockton Ports, hats off to you guys. You give a great experience every single time we're here. We love you guys.
thank you to Almanac,
Always, Almanac.
and thank you to Mic'd Up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Make it like that.
All right.
Cheers.
Play us out. Are you ready? Oh my God, you're not ready.
All right. Well, let me tell you about it.
Maybe Terry can vamp.
Goodbye.
That awkward moment in the show where nothing happens, which is most of the show.
Thanks, Monty.